Hello collective and welcome in. I think that this is going to be a continuation of the last read, which is the karmic to the divine masculine initiation. Just as I split the deck, we've got Chiron healing number 8. So that's confirmation. So whether you are that masculine energy that is being addressed or you are a cross watcher, both are welcome. As I mentioned in that first video, anything discussed here is coming entirely from a place of love and from the divine's desire for healing on both parts. So please try to receive these messages regardless of where you stand in the story with an open heart, because that's how they're being delivered, okay? I'm going to choose a page from the Oracle Within before we get started. So, Spirit, what is the most important message? Moderation. 84, breaking down to a 3. Moderation says, Buddha suggested moderation in all things. At this time, the universe is acting to balance the extremes in your life. Rather than resisting the efforts, accept them and balance your own behavior and attitudes. Remove any radical excesses in dealing with the object of your question. Temper your thoughts, words, and deeds. Life creates tension between opposing forces, and you are constantly balancing the various aspects of your reality, whether it be between pleasure and pain, success and failure, excitement and boredom, or joy and sorrow. To immediately detach from the current situation, you can decide not to manipulate the outcome and avoid choosing. Sit back and simply observe what unfolds. So definitely receive this message with an open heart, like I was saying. The observer understands that he is not his emotional responses, and when emotions begin to surface, he says, "This emotion is not me. It is a fear response generated by my need to control or choose. I don't have to do either. I don't have to identify with this emotion." Meditate upon your need for moderation and your potential to become a peaceful observer. That's beautiful. Okay. Oh, Blizzard card was still in here. Interesting. So I'm going to put that to the side. If we need to come back to it, we will. I think this is going to be in reference to those sacrifices that are necessary. This is ultimately just a reading that is designed to give somebody insight into things they might have been trying to hide from themselves or trying to deny or what have you. Okay, so this is going to be a very truthful, very honest, very raw sort of channeling. And if there are feminines watching this and this is your masculine or ex-masculine story, I'd ask for you to be respectful in the comments. Even if this person's done a great deal of harm to you, it is really imperative that we hold the belief for healing for everybody involved. And you don't need to have this person in your life. And in fact, as I mentioned in the first video, I think for a lot of the feminines involved, this masculine is never going to be anywhere near them ever again. But we should still want healing for the whole collective, right? We shouldn't become the people who have hurt us. So yeah, regardless of where you fall, this is supposed to be healing, and I hope that everybody can accept it with an open heart and get something from it, okay? With love, light, and gratitude, I call upon you, ascended masters, archangels, ancestors, guardians, galactics, and guides of the highest light and the frequency of love to assist me in channeling messages clearly and concisely for the highest good of my masculines at this time. I'm also going to lovingly and adoringly call upon Saint Germain of the Violet Flame to assist me in all worthy hearts at the effortless and immediate task of transmuting any lower level energies, entities, and others seeking to influence us or Gaia at this time. Thank you for blessings, thank you for protection, thank you for guidance, and thank you for connection. I don't think I'm going to take these because there was, so many spirits. Okay. They want me to take them, so I'm going to take them. But before we dive into those, I'm also going to declare complete and immediate energetic sovereignty for myself as well as the collective. We are going to reclaim any and all of our displaced energy from external people, places, things, behaviors, and we are going to repel any external energies that are not for our highest good at this time and send them back to our rightful owners. We're also going to blind and block any unlawful spies, psychics, remote viewers, what have you. We're sovereign beings and we shall act as such and be treated as such, and so it shall be. Okay? So, starting off here, let me back up because I'm going to be running out of space if I don't do this a slightly different way. Okay, we've got Mercury, mind. I'm getting Hermes. You could be into the Hermetic principles. You could be suggested to look into the Hermetic principles. This is also giving me trickster energy. Chiron, healing, did come out. This is healing the mind, point blank, period. The way somebody has thought about things, the way somebody has perceived reality has not been from a balanced, genuine, and unbiased point of view. And Spirit is very much suggesting that this happens and that there is a reinvention that takes place here because of how this mindset and way of acting has impacted oneself as well as those in the external, okay? I want to mention that if this healing is taken upon and this transformation is accepted, one is expected to double their strength, okay? We've got a 3 and we've got a 6. So wherever you are right now, you're going to be at least twice as good by the time you're done this process, okay? And it's going to hurt. It has to hurt to heal, right? But when this is accepted and acted upon in a genuine manner, there is a great deal of healing that will take place as well as success in a variety of realms in life, okay? So I just want to give you that little bit of hope to hold on to. We've got Mars here in reverse, 5, force, Tower energy. This is also aggression. This is domination. This is control. This is angry outbursts. This is exerting control over others in hopes of having control over oneself. But I'm sure we know by now that that never actually works, right? You end up hurting others, or you hurt yourself in process. If you break a vase, you don't hold on to the broken pieces of the vase. You sweep it up, right? Mars in reverse, I am. So you've got lots of fire energy here. I'm seeing quite a bit of lower chakras being ignited. So as I mentioned in the initial read, a potential propensity for unjustified and unscrupulous sexual activities. Somebody is very driven by their animalistic nature. Did you hear that, like, grunt? That is considered a descension on the human to enlightened being path. If you are acting in your animalistic nature, prepare to be brought back as an animal in your next life versus whatever is above the human, okay? You've got a 5 and you've got a 4, so a decrease. There's a decrease of this energy being suggested. It will come by force or by choice. You have the opportunity to say, I am in control of myself and my animalistic urges and behavior, and I will take them under control, or you will be forced to, okay? Next, we have 12th house, escape. This is a 9 in reverse. So this shows me that there is a coping mechanism or multiple that have been part of your story. This could be numbing. This could be disassociation. This could be overconsumption. This could be drug abuse. This could be sex addiction. This could be any number of things. Whatever you lean on instead of balancing your emotions, as mentioned in the oracle, there is an overwhelm that you've probably experienced for a very good part of your life, if not the entirety of it, that makes you feel as if you're going down a spiral staircase deeper and deeper within yourself and deeper to the depths of hell. And I'm saying this because that's how it was given to me. I'm not saying that this is actually what's occurring in your life. You know what's going on in your life. I don't need to tell you. You are going deeper and deeper down this spiral. You know it. You feel it. Cancer is here. Cancer represents the home. It represents a happy family. It represents what you want. And I suspect a good portion of you have been using Cancerian connections in order to escape. So on top of whatever coping mechanisms that may be part of your life via substance, behavior, disassociation, things of that sort, there's also been an objectification and a subjugation and possibly an abuse of the feminine, both within yourself and externally. Cancer is the mother. You could be struggling with issues with the matriarch in your family or your caregiver. You have most likely had some very tumultuous romantic relationships, as well as very questionable interactions with feminine friends in your life, regardless of gender. But as I said before, this is most seemingly a message for a masculine in a male body. So this relates to using the patriarchy to escape, using your supposed position of authority and perhaps one's perceived intellect to confuse, disorient, and cause harm to the softer natures in one's self as well as those outside of you, okay? What's on the bottom of the deck? Pluto, transformation. Again, this is what's being suggested, and we've got an 11. So I hope that you are coming from the first video and this is you wanting to find out a bit more about what awaits you and how you can heal. I analyze is here, so that seems to be the case. And again, I'd like to congratulate you and I'd like to say I'm proud of you for being open to seeing what is on the other side of things for you. Because what is on the other side of things for you is blessings, okay? And you need to deal with some, oh goodness, I just got shot with shivers. You need to do some hard work, right? It's like the temperance angel reaching her hand into that lion's mouth. You need to be willing to have your demons, literal or metaphorical, exercised in order to heal and have a different life available to you that I'm sure you want. If you're here, I would hope you would sincerely desire a different way of doing things, because I can see that the way that you've existed has not served you the way you thought it would, nor has it served those in your life that you claim to love. Okay? We're going to start with Rider Waite. Six of Swords. Moving on. Calmer waters. They want me to shuffle this one quite a bit. So while I'm doing this, take some deep breaths, okay? Brace yourself. I'm going to send you some loving energy, okay? The most important thing at this moment in time, okay, they said no, I'm done now, is for you to understand that while you are where you are because of your actions, you can also choose to be somewhere else because of your actions, right? It's all about tempering. It's all about that balance. It's, what did they say exactly? Yeah, it's about moderation. It's about controlling the emotions. I think that's going to be a very key part of this for a good portion of you. The fear, the anger that many of you exert, whether that be towards yourself, to others, to your physical surroundings through expressions of violence, is stemming from fear, is stemming from wounding. This force, this violence, this control and this subjugation comes from a place of deep wounding. And until you're able to access the depths of your psyche, that's what's in the 12th house. It's, what do they say in this card? It's where the artists, the lunatics, and someone else come to die. And poets, I believe. It's, you know what? I'm actually going to find this in the book. There's a reason that they're pointing this out to me, okay? Give me a second. 36. So I opened to page 33, which was the card that came out in the Saturn return / what was it? Saturn return and something else reading. I'll have it linked down below if you want to check that one out. It's very relevant. Okay. So what it says is the lunatic, the lover, and the poet are of imagination, all compact. Okay. Ruled by Neptune, the planet of confusion and drunkenness, prisoners, shut-ins, saints, artists, and mystics all call this home. So it says when this card comes up in a reading, something is amiss. There's something about the situation that you are unsure about, or at least not privy to. All is not as it seems. Without information, it is difficult to move forward, which is why this reading is here, okay? Key ideas: solitude, charity, begging, hospitalization, secret enemies, exploitation, and visions. They're highlighting the fact that, I'm getting shivers already, oh my goodness. You are so low right now and you are struggling so greatly because you have such potential within you. Chirp, chirp, chirp. Drunkenness also seems to be a relevant subject here. Overconsumption, the reliance on substances, external. Wow. Okay. So what I didn't mention about the 12th house is it is actually representative of the 4 of Cups. And we get the 4 of Cups out here. So this is the energy that you have operated in and perhaps are still operating in currently. This is the feeling of being a bit smug in my eyes. If you look at that guy's face, he looks completely disinterested in that cup. What's important to note about that cup is it's floating in the air, okay? That's a magical cup. That is something special being offered by the divine, by God, by source, by whomever you so choose to pay reverence to. What he thinks is these cups in front of him on the ground here are of so much higher worth. He thinks that because he can see these cups and because they're grounded and they're physical, that they will serve him better than this one. He will sacrifice this 1 cup for 3. This is a scarcity mindset. This is thinking that, well, the more I have, the merrier. And I just got the feeling that that could have been in regards to sexual partners for some of you, or even emotional investments. I have the feeling that, as I mentioned, the patriarchy has done quite a number on the ability on your ability to relate to other people. Therefore, you want more. You want control. You want to have the most. You seek to take those cups from people, perhaps not under the most genuine and authentic approaches, in order to try and satisfy yourself. And those are usually women. Or people who operate in feminine energy. So that is people who are in tune with their emotions. As I say that, the King of Cups comes out here. This could be you. This could be the people that you've dealt with. This is a possible Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. And a Knight of Cups. Goodness gracious. I see where this is going immediately. Okay. You have been overly focused on romantic partnerships. You have tried to get your needs met through external sources. And as I mentioned, most likely not under honest pretenses. This is somebody who's only got cups on the brain. This is an obsession with romantic partners, even intimate connections. This is a charmer, quite possibly. This is somebody who's coming forward with a cup. I'm shocked to see both the king and the knight in the upright, but I think this is to highlight that once you release this sort of behavior, you will be able to tap into these higher octaves of your truest self for the proper reasons, and you will still be able to have those relationships that you strive for as part of your reality. However, they will be in a very different way. However, what I'm seeing here currently is that there has been too much of a focus on stabilizing oneself through the presence of a romantic partner or through the emotional investments of others. It is not an appropriate focus on your own path or your own healing. It is a band-aid. Ace of Wands, which made an appearance in the last reading. So this is saying that sexual exploits have really been probably quite a large part of your past or your recent past. But you can choose at any time. I'm seeing this wand as like a stick shift to go in a different direction. And yes, I know someone's gonna be like, a stick shift doesn't change what direction you're going in. Take what I'm saying, okay? Don't come for my metaphors. Also made an appearance in the last read. You can choose to accept this change at any point, and you can put a death to the things that have not served you, that have made you feel perhaps like a winner and triumphant and falsely puffed up and egoic. But that's a skeleton. Sure, he's on the top of the horse and he's got a flag, so from far away you might think, wow, is that a king coming to court me? He gets closer and, oh fuck, that's death about to take my head off, right? It's all about the perception that you have tried to present to other people. You've wanted to seem as if you've been someone upstanding, someone with morals. I see the person you want to be seen as, and I just want to ask you, why is it more important for you to be seen that way than it is for you to be that way, right? Because if you were just authentically that person, it wouldn't be a mask, first off, and secondly, how people saw you wouldn't bother you, because you would know your truth. You would know that regardless of what others may see on the surface level, or even if they know you a bit deeper, even if this is friends and family, regardless of what anybody has to say to you, if you know that you are just and you are acting in a manner that is accordance to your highest good and what is divinely put in your heart, then it's not about how people see you. The priority has been entirely in the wrong place, and it's a very paradoxical approach, because I see the way you want to be perceived. I see it. It's very, very clear. You want to be seen as somebody who's nurturing, who's kind, who's even-keeled, who's mild-mannered, who's sweet, who's charming, who is intuitive. These are all very, very noble things to want. But the focus should not be on other people seeing you this way. It should be on you actually being that way. And you wouldn't want other people to see you in that light if that energy didn't resonate with you. No one wants to be seen as the best skydiving instructor if they're really somebody who makes blankets. You don't care about people critiquing how you handle heights, because that's something you don't care about. That's not in your realm that is of no relevance to you, but you want people to see you this way because deep down that is part of you. And it is something that the divine wants you to tap into so that you are able to initiate your own justice and your own healing, and possibly healing and justice for other people as well. Pardon me. Somebody wanted to be looked up to here. I'm focusing on this guy in the yellow here, looking up to you. You wanted, and this is going to be probably for a good portion of you, but if it doesn't resonate, then just leave it. This is a holy person, okay? This is someone of divinity. You wanted somebody like this to look up to you. The angel of death, the fallen angel. This was somebody who is most likely your divine feminine, who, again, was there to talk you down off of that horse and help you heal. But you said, look at my flag, look at my horse, look at my armor. Who are you? You didn't see the value in it. This person was there praying. Their hands are clasped together. They were praying for you to see the light, to let down that ego, to participate in that healing that they were in your life to initiate. But what you cared about was being seen as the king of the mountain, of the household. There's some children I see down here. So maybe you lost access to some children in this process. And there's also somebody underneath that horse, I'm not sure if you can see, who's been trampled over. You've trampled people in your exploits. You've caused harm, possibly even physical harm. And now there is justice that is being called upon the situation, upon you. And the divine wants you to understand the need for balance, temperance, moderation. Four of Wands in reverse. This could be a community. This could be a household. This could be maybe even a business structure. This is something that, if it was upright, would be a great cause for celebration. In reverse says you've lost access to a lot of the things that have once brought you happiness, and you lost access because you did not value them when they were available to you, and you took them for granted, and you preferred to focus on the perception of others, the opinions of others, the power that you could exert perhaps over a household. And it makes you feel like a fool now. You feel like you've thrown away everything that mattered to you. You feel like you've sabotaged things. You're quite possibly struggling greatly with your mental health and considering some very unadvisable things. And if that is the case, please, I urge you, talk to the appropriate professionals. I am not a professional, but I understand how you feel, and I want you to know this is not the answer, and it will not bring you peace. It will bring you another karmic cycle of suffering. You have the opportunity now, right now, like this very second, to make the decision to do everything you can to turn yourself upright, to repair the damage you've done to yourself and possibly others. But right now we're talking about you because this is what's most important. This is what has been neglected for a good part of your life. Maybe you've got a dog. Maybe you're suggested to get a dog or spend time with animals. That could be very therapeutic for you. It feels as if the sun has been snatched from your sky and you are facing an ice age. But I need you to know that that is your justice at this moment. That is your, it's not a punishment. I did a reading like this the other day. Accountability is not punishment. Accountability is not abuse. do not be tempted by your ego, by this feeling of superiority, to paint yourself as the victim here. Because the reason you are where you are is because you have a history of victimizing and wounding other people in whatever capacity. If you get tricked by that ego that's been running your life to think that you are the one who is experiencing the injustice, there is only one way your life can go. Okay? The Chariot in reverse with the Three of Cups. The people you've chosen to surround yourself with and associate with have taken you off of your path. You have placed too much stock in the accolades, the clout, the opinions, the points of view of those external to you, thus distracting you from your true journey in life and unbalancing you. What you're suggested to do at this point of time is probably cull your social settings, outings, group, really get down to the brass tacks of who is helping you heal. If they are not helping you heal, why are they in your life? If they are not making you a better person, why do you care to spend time with them? If they're just there to have good times and get drunk with, and do drugs, and do whatever, be prepared to maintain a state of imbalance, to lose direction. Some of you, and I saw this for a second and I wasn't going to mention it until I saw where this laid on my board. Some of you might have a penchant for group sex, okay? You know, we all like to have fun at times. Not disparaging that as a whole. Do what you will. However, I think that could be part of your coping mechanism. All right? Ace of Wands, Three of Cups. Everything is driven by that wand. This could even say that you only associate with people who you are intimately attracted to. Okay? Spirit, what else do we need to know about this, please? Thank you. Page of Cups. Queen of Swords in reverse. You have approached people with this fish in your cup. We've got a King of Cups, a Knight of Cups, and a Page of Cups. Again, those cups are of such great importance to you. However, your approach to them is to be dishonest, is to be manipulative, is to be cunning, is to be in shadowy feminine energy. So that could mean illegitimate displays of emotion. That could mean threats of self-harm. That could mean very cutting words. What is that one? They're trying to tell me something about this movement, but I don't know. Oh, back and forth. Oh, that's what it is. You operate between these two energies. You're this, and then you're this, and then you're this, and then you're this. This is love bomb, discard, love bomb, abuse, hoover, disparage. Whatever that combination looks like for you, you as a most likely male, biological, operates in King of Cups energy with Queen of Swords in reverse energy. So this is very cruel energy, as I mentioned. And yet you think that you are acting in a just manner. This is the view you have, and this is the actuality. And then in this case, this is the view you have, but this is the actuality. These behaviors this way of interacting. You've seen it as something that brings you what you want because it is satisfying you in the moment. It is fulfilling your animalistic urges, and it is taking you further away from yourself and who you could really be. We've got an 8 of Pentacles and a Queen of Wands. My guess is this is the person that you wanted on your team. This is somebody that you wanted to work with. This is fire energy. So that is Leo, Sag, and Aries. This was somebody who at one time, I think, had you very, very focused on them. This was most likely during a love bombing phase where you could only see them. It was possibly an obsession. They were the only thing that you could see at one point because they were most likely a very commanding, powerful, but sweet, divine feminine. I'm looking at that flower in her hand. She's on a throne and she has a presence, but she's still got a flower in her hand and she's still got a cat at her feet. This is your divine feminine that you want to fix things with. And I'm going to be honest with you, masculines. I don't think that's going to be possible for the majority of you. I'm just seeing what you've done to her. 10 of Wands, 10 of Swords. This is every burden that you had placed upon her back, knowingly or unknowingly. This is every cruel word that you thought about yourself shoved in her heart and in her back, knowingly or unknowingly. You felt this way, but because of your inability to process your own emotions, and as I believe I mentioned in the first spread, a need to co-regulate yourself through another individual, you destroyed, is what they said. You didn't actually destroy this person, but in your eyes, I think you got some satisfaction. And I felt a pain in my chest, yes. So you felt satisfaction for seeming to have destroyed somebody. You thought that doing this to somebody you claim to love was something to be proud of. And that is why, as I mentioned, for most of you, this person is not going to be back in your life in any capacity. But that needs to be something that you acknowledge, grieve, and are okay with. Because this is not about your connection to another individual. This healing is necessary for your own soul. If you say, well, I can't have my Queen of Wands back, so I'm just going to keep on keeping on. I don't need to be a psychic to tell you where you're going to be. And I think you have an idea. We've got a Knight of Pentacles here in reverse. So this is destabilizing somebody. This is taking somebody else off of their path. This is cruel communication, slander, possibly even online or to groups of people. You didn't see the truth of the situation. We had the Two of Swords here in reverse. You were blind. You were ignorant. You did not tap into your masculine air energy. Instead, you operated in shadowy feminine air energy to see the truth of this 10 of Pentacles that you had with this person, or were like possibly going to have with this person if this wasn't somebody that you had like a long-standing relationship or house or family with. This was somebody who you could have had this with, but instead, this is what you got, okay? Five of Pentacles made another appearance, feeling out in the cold, feeling stripped of divinity, feeling in the most need that you could potentially have ever felt, but not having anybody around to help you who actually understands the severity of your pain. Because when you were on that horse that you were so proud of, and that flag that made you look more regal and royal than you were, you acted in a way to cause harm to others. In a way, I just felt some strange sensations on my arm. If any of you are dealing with extreme substance use right now, please see the appropriate professionals. You were more than happy to ride by your enemies and your comrades and take their heads clean off with that sword, because you were waiting to be crowned a victor. The victim, victor, villain could be relevant for you. That was uploaded a couple days back. I'm going to leave the Ten of Swords out here as well as the Ten of Wands and put everything back in. Aside from that, Judgment in reverse. This Queen of Wands, I guess I do want me to touch on this because I hear some ringing, is looking at what you've done. They're looking at the carnage. This is what you wanted for them. And they did at one point experience that. They, however, are upright. They are in touch with their divinity. They are guarded. They are protected. They are safeguarded because of what you've done to them. And now they're looking at you on the battlefield, bearing every single burden that you intentionally try to inflict on your divine gift, because that's what this person was to you. They were a divine gift. You were on a path of self-destruction when you met this person, regardless of how long ago that was. And they saw this. This Queen of Wands is also showing up as a high priestess in the other read. This was somebody who knew your wounds before you knew your wounds, who might have even tried to tell you about these wounds. And yet, because of a refusal to be vulnerable and take accountability, you did exactly what this person, this feminine, knew you were going to do. They knew. This is an intuitive. This is a seer. This is a psychic. They knew when you were lying to them. They knew that you couldn't control yourself. They knew that you were burdened and not taking responsibility. And yet, because they were a divine feminine, they were doing what God asked them to do. And when the tower came down and judgment called, when that angel said, "You've done enough, you may leave now," they left, and your tower came crumbling down. And now, here you lay. Oh, I was thinking of that sign, not that sign, that line from Lemonade. Beyonce says, "Here I lay, the woman that you loved." I'm not sure exactly what line that is, but if you know what it is and Beyonce is relevant for you, then you know what I'm talking about. Temperance in reverse. Over the Five of Swords behavior. Winning at all costs. This behavior comes from a place of extreme insecurity, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry, divine. I'm sorry, masculine. You are not yet divine. You have the potential of being divine, masculine. But I'm sorry that you have experienced such pain and heartache in your life. And quite possibly, since I'm seeing this page, Knight and King, this has been 3 very traumatic things that you've experienced in your life, starting from childhood, that have wounded you so greatly that you are unable to even look at your wounds. So you give them to others. You make them someone else's responsibility. You have been through quite a bit. And the divine has sympathy for you. And I have sympathy for you. But the answer to that is not to enact the same pain on others. It is not just for you to become the people who wounded you. Hurt people don't just get to hurt people. It is time for your tower to fall. You can deny it. You can delay it. If you did any magic, that will be striking as well. And it's been returned. And I think you know that. Some of you were in a place of great desperation, and you thought that doing binding magic or sex magic or putting people in jars, and I'm hearing some ringing, was the solution. You thought that that would give you control over a divine feminine. Maybe this has worked for you in the past. Maybe you have been able to charm people. Maybe you have been able to put charms and roots on people. That incurred your karma, but those were not divine feminines. This is not somebody to fuck with. I think you realize that now. If you don't, you will be soon, and that is part of your karma. I hope, for your sake, that nobody innocent is wounded in the reversal, because if you wanted harm, death, destruction, or even the dissolution of someone's free will, then you need to accept that same energy back, because this is an individual who has entities, angels, ghosts, passed over loved ones, fae, things you can't begin to comprehend on their side. And if you thought that it was appropriate to try and exert further control over somebody who already did everything they could to try and get you on the right path, then you and yours are going to be in for quite a wake-up call. I'm going to go in with the Mystic Mondays, Lovers in Reverse, and see if there's anything else we need to hear. Because I wanted to do a different reading, but Spirit wanted me to pull on this message. And I figure, well, there's no point in filming another message if they're still going to want me to keep going. So let's get this just out in the open. Okay, the Moon in Reverse. Is this about? It's about magic. Okay, so if magic is not relevant in your story and you did not do magic, you did not try and bind somebody, you did not put anyone in a jar, you did not try and exert control both in the physical and ethereal realms, you can either fast forward this or I'll see you in the next one, okay? This seems to be a message. Oh, goodness gracious. I hope this is already 48 minutes. Oh my God. I hope I have enough space on my phone for this. This is somebody who tried to hold on to another with energies, with summoning, with jars, roots, energetic manipulation, things in the astral realm, things of that sort. Okay, my battery is dying and we're at 48 minutes. So I'm going to pull out maybe 5 or 6 cards with this deck and then we're going to get some advice. Princess of Cups, Page of Cups out here in reverse. This was an unwise decision. You thought yourself to be a King of Cups and you were dealing with a Queen of Wands. Four of Cups, which is what we started this reading with. Okay, still in reverse. It was in reverse, I think. I don't recall, actually. Regardless, this is somebody who could even be trying to visualize and astral project, remote view on a lover, ex-lover. They want me to specify ex-lover. This is somebody who didn't know how to take no for an answer, and how even after damaging somebody physically, emotionally, sexually, possibly, you went on to try and wrong them in the ethers. And that was when everything came crashing down for you. Because you had enough bad karma based upon your 3D actions to call in that justice. But when you didn't know how to take the L, you summoned up some things you shouldn't have. Another, did I put it back in? Okay, we got a Knight of Swords in reverse. You had that previously. This is somebody who's making unwise decisions, who had two paths, but what did they choose? They chose to use magic. A Knight of Wands to a divine feminine high priestess, Queen of Wands. You are in reverse. You are going to be responsible for everything that you wanted another to bear, okay? And you are not going to be able to walk away from it. That tower is coming down one way or the other. That's that magic that was sent. And the Eight of Wands did also make an appearance. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. This is unavoidable. I suggest that if this is part of your story, you pray for your loved ones. And I'm not saying that to sound prideful. I'm saying that innocent people don't deserve to be held accountable for the insecure and immature decisions that you've made in regards to playing in the ethers. And unfortunately, the way things work is the divine needs to make their message very clear to you. So what happens is when that tower hits, it might not even hit you. Because how are you going to learn the lesson if, for example, you send death magic to another, to this divine feminine, and it does not touch her because the karmic scales are balanced. She is protected, and she has done nothing but try to help you. It's returned. It goes back to you. Would you learn the lesson if, as I said, you were deleted from the earth? No. That would put you in another karmic loop. You'd have to start all over again with even more karma. What could happen is you could lose somebody around you who is very dear, because you need to see that your behavior, your decisions, your exertions of control have consequences. And if you like it for someone else, you better love it for yourself. So I'm saying, genuinely, pray for your loved ones. Because nobody else should be held responsible for your magic. I'm trying to deliver these messages in a caring way, but that last bit really, really chills. I've got chills. That last bit regarding the magic has really upset me, because this could be slated to occur for somebody that isn't expecting it, and you're going to have nobody to blame but yourself. Is there anything else, Spirit? Love in reverse. You had this at one point. I commit to the practice of seeing good in all things. You had this opportunity, but this is what you chose. I'm going to leave it there, collective. Please accept this initiation. Please pray for your loved ones. And please take this seriously. If you want to book me, description below. Okay? Love you and see you in the next one.